Imagine standing in your kitchen, staring at unpaid bills, with no idea how you'll provide for your kids tomorrow. That was my life, until everything changed. Today, I'm a millionaire, and this is how I turned my struggles into success. If you're ready to transform your life and take the first step toward your dreams, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. My days started before the sun rose, and they ended long after it set. I was a 40-year-old single mom in a small British town, with 2 children depending on me for everything. I worked 2 jobs just to make ends meet, cleaning houses during the day and waitressing at night. On paper, it might have seemed like I was keeping it all together, but behind closed doors, I was barely holding on. Every morning, I'd wake up to the same cycle of chaos. The sound of my alarm felt like a cruel reminder that I had another long, grueling day ahead. The school lunches had to be packed, uniforms ironed, and the kids needed to be rushed out the door, all while I was mentally preparing myself for hours of scrubbing floors and cleaning up after strangers. I remember one day in particular. I had just finished a 12-hour shift and came home to find an overdue electricity bill on the kitchen counter. My hands were trembling as I opened it. The number staring back at me made my stomach drop. It was more than I had in my bank account. My youngest, Lily, came running into the room, clutching a school form for a class trip. "Mum, can I go? Everyone else is going," she said, her eyes wide with hope. I couldn't bear to tell her the truth, that there was no way I could afford it. Instead, I forced a smile and said, "Let's see what we can do, sweetheart." But the moment she walked away, tears started streaming down my face. The weight of failure was crushing. At night, when the kids were asleep, I would sit in the dark, scrolling through social media on my phone. I'd see pictures of people my age traveling the world, building careers and living lives I couldn't even imagine. I felt like I had missed every opportunity to do something more with my life. Regret kept me awake most nights, regret for choices I hadn't made, for dreams I had given up on, and for a future that felt like it would never change. It wasn't just the financial strain that weighed on me, it was the loneliness. My social circle had disappeared over the years. Friends stopped calling when I could no longer join them for nights out or weekend trips. My world had shrunk to the size of my tiny flat, and my only company was the nagging voice in my head telling me I wasn't enough. I kept telling myself I had to stay strong for my kids, but even that was starting to feel like a lie. There were moments when I thought about giving up entirely. How much more could I take? What kind of life was I really giving my children? These thoughts haunted me daily, making every hour feel heavier than the last. Looking back now, I realized that those darkest moments were what set the stage for everything that came next. Because when you've hit rock bottom, the only place to go is up. I didn't know it at the time, but my breaking point was the first step toward the life I'd always dreamed of, a life I thought was impossible. It was a sleepless night, one of many. My youngest had come home crying because he couldn't join a school trip we couldn't afford. I sat there, scrolling aimlessly on my phone, when I stumbled upon a video about people who transformed their lives through determination and side hustles. Something inside me shifted. If they could do it, why couldn't I? With no real plan, I started small. I learned about entrepreneurship and passive income. I saved every spare penny, sometimes sacrificing meals for myself, just to invest in online courses. Late nights turned into early mornings as I juggled work, kids, and building something new. Failure became a constant companion, but I refused to let it win. Months turned into years of relentless effort. Slowly but surely, my online ventures gained traction. I started an e-commerce business, selling handmade goods, and eventually expanded into consulting. My network grew as I connected with like-minded individuals. I made mistakes, learned, and kept moving forward. I'll never forget the day I checked my account and saw 7 figures for the first time. Tears streamed down my face as I realized I'd built a legacy, not just for my children, but for myself. It wasn't just about the money, It was about proving to myself that I was capable of greatness. Now I wake up with purpose, not dread. My kids are thriving, and we no longer live with the fear of not enough. I travel, mentor other women, and enjoy the kind of life I once thought was reserved for others. My journey wasn't easy, but it was worth every struggle. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, no matter how hard life gets, it's never too late to rewrite your story. If this sounds like the kind of transformation you're striving for, stay tuned, because your story could be next, and I'll see you in the next video.